Anyone owning Bitcoin knows this is global. This is not just a U.S. opportunity, and it's big. You know, if you look at both Ether and Bitcoin, our expectation is, well, that the crypto asset ecosystem will be dominated by those two, and that it is going to scale from a little more than $1 trillion today to $25 trillion in 2030 as this new world builds out. This is almost, I mean, I was at the beginning of the internet. Not really, that was DARPA and everything, but as we were studying it in the market in the 90s, this feels like that again. It is a very big idea.
Have you noticed that so much stuff has been happening in the crypto market recently? The buzz of the upcoming bull year, approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs, a slew of predictions for certain cryptocurrencies, various stories of crypto sell-offs, and many more, is a broad chunk of affairs, and somehow, news about Bitcoin seems to have been overshadowed by every other update. With this, whenever we talk about Cardano versus Bitcoin, it's easy to consider the latter as the biggest catch. But what do you think? A widely followed crypto analyst known as Benjamin Cowen has been dishing out some interesting updates about Bitcoin recently. From one of his analysis concerning the crypto market, Cowen pointed out that the crypto market currently resides in a zone where if the total market cap fails to achieve new heights, it might simply be a matter of investors reshuffling their portfolio's capital. According to him, if total, referencing the total crypto market cap, cannot break out of here, referencing the same spot it was rejected in April and July, then I still think that we are witnessing is a rotation of capital from altcoins to Bitcoin rather than a lot of new money coming into the space. At the time he said this, data from CoinMarketCap showed that the total market capitalization of crypto was $1.23 trillion. Cowen's comments garnered a variety of responses from ex-users. Some believed that it marked the inception of the alt season, while others expressed skepticism about his remarks. Some alts are gonna fly from here real soon, one ex-user posted. Hard to imagine altcoins performing well in this macro environment. I think if Bitcoin pulls back, many alts will get crushed, another ex-user stated. Meanwhile, another user stated that the surge is due to an increase in Bitcoin inflows, which boiled down to altcoins. Alts are pumped as well, not as much as Bitcoin, but still. I guess that the new capital came into Bitcoin, and that will eventually dribble down into alts. Time will tell. It gets really interesting in the coming weeks and months. Well, if altcoins pump, it's going to be a great boom for Cardano ADA, since it has been one of the most resilient altcoins right from when the crypto market crash began, and is held on too strong. However, Benjamin Cowen also noted that historical precedent makes it likely that Bitcoin's latest rally will lead to a dramatic correction before the real bull market kicks off. He said this in an interview with Crypto Banter. Cowen explained that the reason why Bitcoin is rallying is not because new capital is coming into the space and raising prices. Instead, the analyst argued that Bitcoin is going up because traders are converting their altcoins, which are further out of the risk curve, into Bitcoin. Cowen also added that liquidity from altcoins will eventually dry up, and Bitcoin will no longer have buy pressure to sustain its rally. The closely followed analyst said that he is expecting Bitcoin to eventually get rejected at one of its nearby resistance levels before selling off and bringing altcoins down with it. Bitcoin usually has a pretty significant sell-off sometime before the halving. I mean, maybe it happens after the halving, I don't know, but the reason it happens, in my opinion, is because liquidity has gone. So I think the reason that Bitcoin is going up right now is not because new money is coming into the space, but because if new money was coming into the space, wouldn't the total market cap have gone higher? So the total market cap has stayed the same, he said. Benjamin Cowen noted that the reason that Bitcoin is going up is because people are converting their altcoins to Bitcoin, hence the rise in Bitcoin dominance. But the issue, according to him, is that at some point, all the liquidity in the altcoin market has been bled dry. This explains why there is no liquidity left in altcoins to buy Bitcoin. With this development, when Bitcoin goes into a risk-off environment again, and all this power money that was sitting in the altcoin market that was there to scoop up cheap Bitcoin, that money is gone, and there is no longer a bid. He further said, there's no longer a bid for Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin drops. It crushes the altcoin market, and then after that final drop by Bitcoin over the next 3 to 6 months, you would outperform altcoins to outperform. But right now, we're still in the phase where alts are bleeding to Bitcoin, and at some point we roll over and Bitcoin crushes the altcoin market. Nonetheless, Cowen is not the only analyst making predictions about Bitcoin. Legendary trader Peter Brandt has also come out with a bullish chart that predicts new all-time highs for Bitcoin. The veteran trader shares his blueprint, which he noted that he has been using for about 2 years, to detail a potential timeline for the king crypto to break the $70,000 level. Peter Brandt said, anyone who declares they know the future path of any market is a fool. Markets will always surprise. Yet with this disclaimer, I believe 1. The Bitcoin bottom is in. 2. New all-time highs are not coming until Q3 of 2024. 3. Chop fest in the meanwhile. I've used this blueprint for approximately 2 years. Brandt broke Bitcoin's life cycle up into bullish impulses followed by periods of consolidation. He appeared to suggest that Bitcoin will break out of its long-term range by mid-2024, and then hit new all-time highs in the third quarter of the year. Looking at the shorter term, Brandt said that Bitcoin's current impulse has enough steam to make it near the $40,000 mark based on its convincing break above the $32,000 mark. He said, post from Discord yesterday just before the upside thrust. Peter Brandt has previously predicted that Bitcoin will ultimately become the ruling crypto asset of the space, knocking out most altcoins from relevancy. At the time, his tweet read, "My bias is that Bitcoin will bury all pretenders. Eventually, there will only be one king of the hill, and it will be Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the legacy coin, and it will outlast and outvalue all of the make-believe crypto wannabes." Now, it looks like almost every analyst out there is talking about Bitcoin. I mean, well, it is the leading cryptocurrency after all. If it spikes high, it takes other cryptocurrencies along with it, and the same is done if it's in the opposite direction. Does it mean that Cardano does not have a chance to challenge Bitcoin? That's a weird question, but let's consider the possibility. Cardano has its uniqueness, and if everyone is willing to embrace it, this could bring about monumental gains and a peak in its reputation. Bitcoin was the first cryptocurrency, and it remains the largest name in the business more than a decade later. There is no doubt that Cardano is simply a blockchain platform for smart contracts with an ambitious long-term roadmap. Regardless of the preferences set by crypto investors about these digital coins, both of them soared in 2021 and crashed in the first half of 2022. To an extent, they're on a similar growth trajectory. Bitcoin's price plunged from its all-time high, but it has generated market-intimidating returns over the last 3 years, despite the negative sentiment in recent months. Most of Bitcoin's price drops have been tied to Wall Street's growth stocks, and last year the government started lifting interest rates to fight inflation, which was bad news for the growth stocks and cryptocurrency. People started to limit their exposure to financial risk, and one of the strategies employed included stepping back from volatile investments. The choking experiences of investors last year were too much to bear. It all started when crypto investors were spooked by the collapse of the stablecoin platform Terra Luna, which halted withdrawals from the Celsius network, a crypto-based service, and other concerns from the crypto market. Each of these situations is enough to drag Bitcoin down, but the leading cryptocurrency by market capitalization has maintained a solid stand. Bitcoin proponents like Michael Saylor and Max Kaiser strongly believe that brighter days are ahead, but not just right away. And there are in fact brighter days ahead for Cardano ADA as well. The smart contract platform's future could be even more thrilling than Bitcoin's. It is compatible with smart contracts developed for the market-leading Ethereum platform, even though the system was not built to meet the ERC20 token standard from inception. Over time, Cardano has remained a development platform and is expected to continue gaining new features while staying on the forefront of blockchain innovation. However, Cardano is depending on Bitcoin, especially for the provision of future capital. It is popularly touted as the Ethereum killer, but it is not set to kill or replace Ethereum, which is likely to sustain the position of the overall market leader for smart contracts. While expecting a boom in its token's price, Cardano has not been frolicking around. It has recently unveiled Midnight, a revolutionary player in the domain of tokenized digital assets, including NFTs, where users can interact, transact, and engage without forfeiting their anonymity. The Midnight network has emerged not only as a technological leap, but as a pledge towards ensuring privacy, data protection, and secure yet anonymous interactions on the blockchain. In this crypto race, especially in this period, there are no winners or losers. The bear market will soon end, and everyone is trying to make headway with their preferred choices, whether it be Cardano or Bitcoin. But that's going to do it for today's video. Make sure you click on the subscribe notification buttons, and we'll see you in the next video.